What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Realistic Career Mode. It's episode number 70. And we start today's episode with an academy update, just the 4 players in our youth squad. Now, I did say this season I'm going to have a break from youth scouting, but the 4 players to remain look fantastic, including Santi Velasco. Looks really decent as a young Spaniard. Now, he is an attacking midfielder by trade, but based on the pace he's got, I'm thinking possibly a winger in this team. Not entirely sure. I'm just addicted to position changes, man. I can't deny it. I love to do it. And look at our fixtures for November as we closed out October. We've got match days 4 and 5 in the Champions League group stage. We've got Everton, we've got Norwich, we've got some decent fixtures in the Premier League that are winnable ones, and again a chance to secure qualification in the Champions League with a game or 2 to spare as well. Those are the games which I'm most focused on this month. But just before the first game of today's episode, the Canaries at Carrow Road, you would have seen there Bukayo Saka has hit 90 overall. So of course we bought an All-Black 93 overall in the summer window, with the first player in the Arsenal team that we've bought back that we've now managed to see hit 90 overall, and totally justified as well. Whilst at times his goals or assist to game ratio is not quite as high as other players in this team, such as Smith Rowe or Reece Nelson or Luis Suarez, he still does get involved in the build-ups a lot. And also as well, I've mentioned this before, sometimes I am guilty of this, and I guess right on cue here you can see what I mean. 21 minutes into the game, Reece Nelson gets our first goal of the match after a great little ball through by Luis Suarez, as the back-to-back Golden Boot winners link up for our first one here at Carrow Road. A lot of my play sometimes does go centre down one wing based on who I think is probably like the best sort of player, or the player I have the most success with. For example, in my QPR save, that was often the case with Charles Bull. So for those that watched that, you would know that we had Maduke on the right and Bull on the left, and Noni didn't get involved in that many goals. It's mainly because our play style was primarily focused down the left hand side. So for Saka, it's kind of the same sort of thing. We do go down the right, we do look for him every now and then, but oftentimes, as you would have seen on this play here, this is a really great example of Smith Rowe scores our second goal in stoppage time to wrap up the 3 points in the game. We were in complete control really against the Canaries. Saka was like the dummy runner there. Saka was the dummy runner to drag players out of position. And by the way, how cool were these celebrations here right in front of the away? And I've mentioned before, but guys, seriously, if you're looking for immersion and realism in your saves, take note of where the away fans are housed when you're playing away from home. It's really important. But yeah, Saka in many moments is like the dummy runner in this team and doesn't always get as much of the ball as he probably could. So yeah, even so, he's hit 90 now and he looks absolutely incredible. What a decision it was to sell Kulusevski to Old Trafford and bring back Bukayo Saka from Borussia Dortmund. One of the best pieces of business we've done since we joined Arsenal. So for the second game of today's episode here, RB Salzburg, match day 4 in the Champions League group stage, and if we will win this and results would go our way, we would guarantee qualification with 2 games to spare. However, heading into the game, I did not expect this. The Austrians taking the lead in North London, making it 1-0, making me think, hang on a second, that was me thinking qualification was in the bag. If we lose this, I'm going to be looking over my shoulder quite nervously. But right before the break, Gabriel Martinelli makes it 1-1, puts us back on level terms right before half-time, and then 20 minutes to go, 69 minutes into the game. Oh, mentioned him in the last episode, but this guy is so consistently good. I mean, not sure about the celebration, but still, Harvey Barnes, mate, what a signing from Leicester, £65 million. And the dude, I swear, every time he gets a game, he always performs. He never lets me down. Never lets me down. He's the definition of reliable, and that does confirm it as well. After Leverkusen won their game against Sparta Prague, that is it now. We have guaranteed qualification with 2 games to spare, 12 points on the board, 9 points clear of third, whilst Leverkusen are only 3 points behind us with 2 games to go. That means now that if we win our following game and Leverkusen fail to match our result, then we will indeed guarantee qualification with a game to spare as group winners. We've already qualified though with the 2 games to go. That's the most important thing to me. So for the third game of today's episode here, staying in North London, we return to matters in the Premier League, taking on Everton, who we recently dumped out of the Carabao Cup, as we aim to maintain our unbeaten start in the Premier League. Won every single game apart from one, which was the 1-1 draw against Chelsea. Looking for another 3 points here. Took lead early through Smith Rowe, and then 34 minutes into the game, great run by Nelson down the left hand side, dinks into the middle, and there is the Colombian Luis Suarez, who controls and finishes with ease. So 2-0 Arsenal in the first half, and it was a game really where I was in complete control from the first whistle to the last. 10 minutes after the restart, chance to make it 3 once again. We attack down his left hand side with Reece Nelson receiving the free ball from Kieran Tierney, and the finish to match as well, banged in to the far corner as Reece Reece gets our third, and we're 3-0 up here as Suarez, Nelson and Smith Rowe get a goal each in this game. 3 of our most important players, I'd say, on the offensive end. Out of 18 minutes to go, still leading by 3, a chance to make it 4. Reece Nelson wins it back down the left hand side. I'm a stormer in this game and then finishes the move off as well. This guy, sometimes, like when I can turn it on with him at times, he's literally unstoppable. And again, it's the main reason why I go down that left hand side so often. You know, there are some games where I'll be honest here with Reece, I don't quite do as much as I want to with Nelson, considering his great range of technical and physical attributes, but every now and then, like, I'm just like, he's in complete control, and it's like I'm using like a 99 overall rated player, and I'm being serious here as well. Sometimes he genuinely is that unstoppable. So yeah, 4-0 the final score there. Nelson with a brace, 1 for Smith Rowe, and also 1 for Suarez as well. So for the 4th game of today's episode here, King Power, Leicester City taking them on here away from home, and a chance to extend our run in the Premier League. Declan Rice coming back to Leicester after we signed him in the summer, now playing in the centre-back position. 33 minutes into the game here. Once again, it's that left-hand side. Reece Nelson stepping in and finishing as well. Right now, he is in the best form of the season so far, in the early season so far. Obviously, Nelson, like I said, last season had that ACL. Coming back this season, absolutely on fire. So 1-0 Arsenal in the first half. And at this point here, I was thinking, right, okay, so we're cruising right now. Yes, I know we lost our winning run against Chelsea, but right now, I'm sitting here during the game thinking, if we keep this up, and I know I briefly mentioned it in the last episode, when I'm doing stuff like this, as we chip the ball through to Josh Da Silva, I'm feeling it. I'm in complete control of the players here, and I'm starting to think, Invincible season possibility. Now, I haven't really mentioned it much. I briefly touched on it towards the back end of the last episode, but at the moment, I mean, we're going to take some serious stopping because we are on fire. We've won every single game again, apart from that draw against Chelsea. I'm in complete control. I'm doing some fabulous things with my players on the offensive end and also at the back as well. Despite adding Declan Rice to our back four and changing his position, bringing in a new goalkeeper in Jan Oblak, we did it just as secure as last season. There's definitely a possibility that this could be a new Invincible season for the Gunners. We started off that way anyway. And again, we are going to take some serious stopping. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. The most important thing is we maintain consistency and we maintain top spot. Because again, the board have said this season, after falling short last year by 4 points, you've got to make up for it this year and win the Premier League. As things stand, we are certainly the favourites after our red hot start. But you can't help me for daydreaming about the possibility of an undefeated season. I don't remember the last time I was able to pull that off, but there's definitely a possibility this year. Got to hold my nerve. So for the following game, match day 5 in the Champions League group stage, penultimate one of the group campaign, taking on Sparta Prague, and this was once again a bit of a surprising one. Just like against RB Salzburg, fell behind in the first half, really struggled in this game to create chances as well. In the end, we only got the one, and we had to take it as well. Kasper Dolberg, the Dane, connecting with a long through ball and scoring our leveller, and in the end, what a missed opportunity as well, because it would have meant that heading to the Buy Arena on match day 6, we would have guaranteed top spot after they were held by RB Salzburg. In the end, could only manage a draw, our first slip up in the Champions League. Whilst we still remain undefeated in all competitions, it is a draw and a disappointing one as well. But it does mean, because we beat Bayer Leverkusen on match day 2 in the Champions League, in our first fixture against the Germans, it does mean that if we fail to lose by 3 or more clear goals, we will still finish as group winners. We beat them 2-0 at the Emirates Stadium, so yeah, Leverkusen need to win by 3 or more goals, or score 3 goals and win by 2 or more, and then that will see them leapfrog us and go top. But the reality of this is it's quite unlikely. I trust my boys based on the start we made to the season, so at the Buy Arena, I might pick 1 or 2 or possibly 3 stars, but for the most part, I'm going to rest a lot of my key boys for the games on the weekend at the moment are far more important as we try and remain undefeated in the Premier League. And so for the following game, final one today's episode, Crystal Palace here, London Derby. That man, once again, cannot stop scoring. Reece Nelson sipping the tea, makes it 1-0, puts us in front in the game. And in the first half, we were in control, but in the second, I took my foot off the gas pedal a little bit. I've warned about the dangers of doing that, not staying relentless and allowing your opponents back into the game. Exactly what we did. Palace found the leveller, and with a minute to go, I was thinking, oh my goodness, this would be a massive slip up at home to Patrick Vieira's Crystal Palace if we failed to find a winning goal. Stoppage time, still tied at 1-1, looking for a late winner. Da Silva finds Smith Rowe, rolls it through, and Eddie Nketiah off the bench, signed him in the summer from Brighton, first goal since coming back to Arsenal, and talk about the importance of it as well. Virtually the final kick of the game, wins it at the death, and for the second time this season, we score either a late leveller or a late winner in the Premier League. If you want to be champions, you have to be resilient. We certainly have in these two games here against Chelsea and Crystal Palace. A late leveller and then a late winner. Eddie Nketiah scores the winning goal deep in the stoppage time. 3 points in the bag, and it means 13 wins in our first 14 games, best defensive record, top scorers, best goal difference record, and 7 points clear of our North London rival Spurs already. 14 games in. The Invincible season is still on, but for how much longer? But that was this episode of the Realistic CM, guys. So big thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed it. And if you didn't, please drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day. And I'll see you for the next episode of the Realistic Career Mode with some massive, massive games in December very soon.